Liberty football heads to the Lone Star State to take on the Mean Green, while Emily brings us the latest news from around Liberty athletics.
Plus, you don't want to miss our recent guest on the Flame Central podcast, and we check in with the top 10 field hockey team. It's Flame Central, and it starts right now.
It was a game that kept you on the edge of your seat as the Flames on the road once again taking on North Texas. Everybody, welcome to Flame Central. I'm Rhett McGibbon alongside Emily Austin.
Hey, there is so much to get to on today's show with women's soccer going into an OT thriller again and field hockey in the final stretch of their season. But we start with Flames football.
Yeah, the Flames looking to bounce back after a tough loss to ULM, facing a North Texas team that all week long Coach Freeze had been preaching were better than their record showed. North Texas had yet to beat an FBS team this season, but had a strong start, leading the Flames 14-7 in the second quarter. That's when Flames Nation was given a scare. Malik Willis, sacked for the fifth time in the first half, limped off the field. With a score now 20-7 Mean Green, Jonathan Bennett would give LU a little life. A deep toss would just have enough to get to CJ Daniels for 6, and the Flames would make it a 20-14 game. North Texas would answer back to start off the third quarter. A 14-play, 89-yard drive would end up with Jason Pirtle in the end zone to put them up 26-14. They go on to miss the two-point conversion. That's when the Flames star quarterback would return. Malik would find CJ Daniels on a 20-yard strike for Daniels' second touchdown of the day. Flames down 26-21. Followed up by an LU defensive stop, and that would set up a moment for the special teams. The line drive punt would take one hop and find Demario Douglas, who would get some fantastic blocking and take it 72 yards to the house. The Flames would go on top and never look back, tack on a Shedro Lewis TD, and the Flames would take it 35-26 for their sixth win of the season. Here's what Hugh Freeze had to say about Malik Willis and his team's performance.
What a kid, what a warrior, he's just a ball player, and and he just fought for this team, and the whole team fought. It was adverse, it was hot, it was physical against a good offense, and and a good defensive line, and our kids just battled. And you play for 60 minutes and see what the score says, and we're pleased to be bowl eligible in our third straight year.
Great to have the Flames bowl eligible once again. Now Malik continues to get recognized as one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. This last week, Willis was named to the Davey O'Brien watch list. He was one of 40 FBS quarterbacks who will be eligible for the award. Now you can help Malik win this award as well. Jump on social media, go to Flames Football, and like the photo of Malik Willis for the Davey O'Brien. The top 5 vote getters will receive bonus points from the committee when it's narrowed down on November 9th.
Speaking of social media, time for some hearsay with EA on who is saying what about the Flames around social media. Breaking news, the central theme again this week, Malik Willis. One of the best in the biz, knows all about the dynamic QB and Todd McShay's latest top 32 prospects. Malik, number 6, pointing out his ability to extend plays, keeping his eyes downfield, the wow factor we all know about. Check out that article on ESPN+. We continue with the pass that broke the internet on Saturday. NFL draft analyst from The Athletic, Dan Brugler, admitted, "I've never seen a QB complete a forward pitch 20 yards in the air until this weekend." PFF Anthony tweeted this insane stat. Malik has 51 broken tackles in 2021, 6 shy of the PFF college record. For the most in a season by a QB, he's on pace to shatter that mark by a couple dozen. So many articles on the new QB rankings. Writer Eric Edholm updated his list. Check that out on Yahoo Sports. Plus, who will Malik Willis play for at the next level? This week, the Falcons, ATL. You know, Malik is from Atlanta, so you know his family would love that. Another guy talking about Malik Willis around social media is Jim Nagy, and this guy is no stranger to evaluating talent with nearly 20 years of experience as an NFL scout. Today, he's the executive director of the Reese's Senior Bowl. He joined us on the podcast this week to share his thoughts on the Liberty star quarterback. What are your first impressions of Malik Willis?
My first impressions were really live. I hadn't watched a lot of Malik in the past. And again, the first impression is just how big physically he is. And then when I saw him play live at UAB a few weeks ago, I knew he was a big, strapped-up-looking guy. And then to see him play live, and I don't know if I've ever had this take away from a quarterback just going to a game, but was how physically strong he is and how hard he is to get on the ground. I mean, he's probably as hard a guy to get down as I can remember since I scouted Ben Roethlisberger coming out of Miami of Ohio.
Wow.
But he's used the middle of the field more this year. I think he's seeing the field better this year, and that would make sense. That's the thing that stuck out at the UAB game was when he was moving around and slinging guys off him and guys were falling off him. He maintained his downfield focus, and he wasn't content just tucking the ball and running. He wanted to make a play down the field.
Well, to hear from more great guests like Jim Nagy, be sure to check out the Flames Central podcast. A new episode comes out each Monday where we dissect the latest Liberty football game. Also, if you're a basketball fan, we'll be chatting hoops as the Flames start their season shortly. You can hear it all on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you like. Check out the Flames Central podcast today.
Download that for sure. Well, in football, typically the quarterback gets all the attention and praise, especially when you have a guy like Malik Willis under center. That's nothing new for Flames offensive lineman Thomas Sargent. All eyes haven't been on him from the beginning, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been working like everyone's watching.
You wouldn't choose him out of a lineup to be your anchor in the middle, but that's what's great about the human spirit and effort and work and development and dedication and commitment and discipline. And Tom is a poster board for all of that.
In high school, I honestly wasn't the biggest or tallest guy on the field. Throughout the recruiting process, a lot of it was about size. I didn't get coaches, they'd see me at camps or game day visits, and coaches would be like, you have a lot of talent, but, at the time, you don't fit our build. Doubt definitely set in towards the end of my senior season, especially when it came to an end. I didn't have any offers. I didn't have any plan or knew where I was going to go at that time, but just continued to have faith and trust in God's plan for me.
The undersized and overlooked offensive lineman from Mechanicsville, Virginia, would get that opportunity joining the Flames as a preferred walk-on and also given the chance to prove the doubters wrong.
Coming in that first camp, my goal was to get a scholarship. You see these videos of kids earning scholarships for their hard work and everything they've accomplished. Coming into my freshman year, that was my goal.
Now, I want you locked out. Good. I want our working our footwork and our shoulder placement.
I had to make sure I knew all the plays.
Don.
Coaches weren't going to put anybody on the field that didn't know what they were doing. My main goal was to learn the playbook.
Hey, true Mike.
And to make sure every opportunity I got, I took advantage of it.
Hey, Coach. If he's wide, we just trace it.
His hard work on and off the field would pay off, as he was named the starting center going into the 2017 season, and his first career start as a Flame wasn't going to be a walk in the park.
Obviously, big stage here for the Liberty Flames. Turner Gill wants to make sure his team is not in awe of the brand, he says. So look for them to try to jump out to an early start, get something going.
So 1st and 15 to begin the season for the Flames.
My first starting game against Baylor, I was definitely a little nervous. People hate to admit it, but I was definitely nervous. It was my first actual football game since the last game of my high school career. Redshirted the whole first year I got here. So it wasn't that I was scared to be on the field, but it was just nerves trying to set in. First college football game, you're going to be a little nervous. Coming into the game, you're thinking, this is, Big 12. We're going against all Big 12 players. But, after that first drive, it really solidified our, mentality that we were going to win that game.
3rd down. Calvert! Caught! Touchdown! Liberty!
Had to prove myself that, I was meant to be here, that everything I worked for was for something.
It's over! Liberty with a shocker in Waco!
Sargent hasn't looked back, starting every Flames drive since and leading the offensive line from an FCS program to a 2-time FBS Bowl winner.
Here's Shedro, he ain't got room to run, it's a foot race, near side
well schemed, well blocked, and then you have a guy with speed. You can't draw it up any better than that.
The center is definitely the leader of the offensive line. I like to think of the center as the smartest guy on the field, if not just the offensive line. But being the center has a lot of responsibility. You got to be able to put people where they're supposed to be. So once the ball's snapped, it kind of plays in slow motion. You're looking to react from what the defense is doing. When we get to the point where we're able to impose our will on the other team and continue to run play after run play after run play, it's a sense of accomplishment while you're in the moment, but it also feels good to know that, no matter what they throw at you, they can't stop you.
Away, he's trying to play a little smash mouth.
Green again shows you that burst and picks up the first down.
Unstoppable, a great way to define his career at LU, with over 50 consecutive starts at center, an accomplishment that he didn't even see coming.
Had you asked me at the end of my senior football season if I would be where I am today and the success we've had here at Liberty, I wouldn't have believed you. It's been crazy what we've been able to do here in the past couple years.
Touchdown Malik Willis, touchdown Flames.
No matter where you start off, if you're a scholarship player, a preferred walk-on, you walk on just onto Liberty's football team, that, hard work and dedication will get you somewhere.
Great job by our Donald Scott putting this story together. Can you imagine starting over 50 games in that position? Like, you've seen all the injuries to the Flames offensive line this year, and to think that you've been going on for so many seasons, so many straight games, and the wear and tear on your body is incredible.
Rhett, I'm not on the offensive line, but I need those knee braces just for everyday life. So I have no idea how he did it, but such a great story going from a walk-on to being one of the biggest leaders on this Flames offense.
Yeah, totally. Great story there. Well, hard to believe that field hockey is already winding down on their season. Sitting at 9th in the nation, the Flames had their eyes set on a top 25 opponent in Kent State in hopes of climbing the top 10 ladder. Now, this contest being held in Lynchburg, Virginia, and it would be LU Senior Day. Liberty would honor some pillars of the program in Ashley Dykema Pereira and also all-time leading scorer Joe Bolton. A wonderful ceremony for the 6-member senior class. Well, as we get into this contest, 8 minutes into the match, Martusian would get the pass from Daniela Rhodes and chip it over the goaltender for a 1-0 Liberty lead. Let's head to the 48th minute, where Daniela Rhodes, she would put on an absolute show. The reverse chip was a highlight. Look at that top shelf, one of the nicest shots you're going to see this season, gives Liberty a 2-0 lead, and that would be enough as they hold on to win it 2-1. Now, with the win, there was a little shuffling in the National Field Hockey Coaches Poll. Syracuse drops from 6th to 9th after a tough loss to Virginia, while Liberty bumps up 1 spot to 8th. Maryland, the big mover, shooting up 4 places to 4th in the nation after taking down number 2 Michigan. Iowa remains at number 1 with a perfect record on the season. Well, coming up on Flame Central, we go past and present with Lady Flames soccer and their overtime success.
Plus, a bunch of big, tough football players tossing around eggs. Sounds weird. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back.
Some come for the crowd, the team, the community, or the love of the game. Others are game changers, here to fulfill their dream of impacting the world. We are here to help every student reach their goals by providing advanced learning, moving worship, competitive athletics, and an enriching social network. One thing is certain, as our campus grows, so does our passion for the things that truly matter. We remain strong in our commitment to deliver a premier Christian education to more than 125,000 students around the globe. Liberty offers over 700 academic programs, including nursing, aviation, cinematic arts, seminary, and law. Our combination of hands-on learning and dedicated faculty enables students to graduate job-ready, no matter what program they choose. Our thriving online community is no exception. We want to help distance learning students add a graduation cap to the many hats they wear, allowing them to be a part of our family without leaving theirs. Liberty's campus is alive with the heartbeat of true faith. Here, professors are mentors, classmates are worship leaders, and teammates are family members. Speakers from all walks of life address one of the largest Christian gatherings in the nation, challenging students to grow in many different ways. Liberty's vibrant spiritual life ignites students with a passion for the gospel. Our athletes compete at the highest collegiate level with 20 NCAA Division I teams. The Liberty Flames have captured more than 150 conference titles, and their intensity continues to light up the playing field. A thriving club sports and intramural program also provides plenty of opportunities to be a part of the team. But social life is not limited to the confines of our stadiums. Whether it's a world-class musical concert or a professional theatrical performance, there are many ways to take a study break with friends. We have over 7,000 acres of campus to explore and encourage students to test their limits with hiking, biking, and shredding the slopes at Liberty Mountain Snowflex Center. Our campus continues to develop as we build the framework for an exciting future. We are striving to remain on the cutting edge of higher education. As the momentum builds, our mission remains the same. We always have and always will be training champions for Christ.
Your future career will ask you to analyze, assess, implement, react, make smart decisions in a split second. With the Liberty University degree, you'll be ready because your first day on the equipment comes long before your first day on the job. Get ready to take on tomorrow, today.
Welcome back to Flames Central. Getting a win is pretty sweet, but there's something about getting that W in overtime that makes it that much sweeter. Lady Flames soccer knows that all too well, especially against Kennesaw State. It was a road trip for LU, and this one, it'll be scoreless until the Lady Owls net back-to-back goals late in the second half, which means it's crunch time for the Lady Flames, but they didn't back down. 2 minutes later, a lot of traffic in front of the net, and it's Casey Jamieson putting this one on the top shelf to get Liberty on the board. And then, final minute of the game, Rebecca Ernest and McKinley Burkett slides in. She's safe at home to tie it 2-2. Forcing overtime, free soccer in Kennesaw. A header hits the goalpost, but it's Ernest there to send it home, plucking the feathers right out of the Lady Owls. Lady Flames complete the comeback in double overtime to secure a spot in the ASUN tournament. Plucking those feathers right out. For our 50th anniversary top moment this week, we don't have to set up much or switch around much information. Same teams, overtime game, and same outcome.
Yeah, that's right. More from Lady Flames soccer once again on the road at Kennesaw State, this time playing for the ASUN Tournament Championship title. And 90 minutes of regulation would not be enough for this highlight. Take a look.
April 17th, 2021. The ASUN Women's Soccer Championship for the COVID-delayed 2020 season. After 99 minutes of play and a combined 30 shots that failed to hit their mark, it was a scoreless tie. But then with 31 seconds left in the first overtime, Meredith King draws a foul inside the box.
King mounting an attack. King sliding through defenders. She goes down, and a penalty shot.
The kick was taken by senior McKinley Burkett.
With an opportunity to end this game. She steps in and scores!
The kick would barely elude the outstretched hands of the Kennesaw goalkeeper and find the back of the net. The Lady Flames would celebrate their first ASUN Conference Championship, clinching their 7th appearance in the NCAA tournament.
Well, that was a great run for the Lady Flames. Well, taking a look at Flames wide receiver Brody Brum behind me here, this picture encapsulates a lot of the skills needed to be a wideout. Body control, soft hands, a strong vertical. All traits he also needs in Emily's next random game she puts the football players through. This week, we bring you the egg toss.
Hi, my name is Raul Strohsitz. This is Liberty Football 2021 Egg Toss Challenge.
Oh, almost lost my underwear. I don't drop nothing, you know that. I'm slimed up like Nickelodeon. Yeah, that's it. A lot of nerves going through me right now.
We're doing the egg toss out here. I'm not as good as throwing overhand as I am snapping, so I'm gonna throw it between my legs. That's what I do best.
Oh my gosh, dude. You're humming that thing.
Try to air it.
Yeah, soft toss, soft toss. If we lose, we might get cut, being receivers and all. Oh, yeah. I can't see it, to be real, when it's in the air. Oh, that might be too far.
Throw it higher more than straight.
Did it break? Oh, man, come on.
It hit my cleat.
Hey, we did our best.
Oh! It didn't break.
It didn't break.
It didn't break. It didn't break. You ever played egg toss? Come on.
For us as a D lineman, I think we can do better, and we'll practice for the next time.
Oh! We at the 15.
But that feels so nasty, bro.
We 20.
I just think this egg wasn't ready for it, you know?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad it was you. I knew the technique we had was wrong once it started rotating in the air, you know?
This is for the team record right here.
Here we go, for the record. Yes!
I almost lost my pants. We wanted to keep the egg kind of horizontal, but you know, it got kind of vertical on us and pretty nasty.
It's not the egg toss anymore. It's the egg snap.
Chemistry unmatched.
I love it. Hey, there's been some trash talk between these guys. Brody Brum thinks that they had the frozen egg for the egg snap. So who knows? Warm, hot, and fuego time. Rhett breaks down the top plays, players, or moments from the last week.
Yeah.
With Halloween coming, do we have a theme?
Yeah, it's kind of aspects of life that scare me.
Ooh,
all right. And
okay.
the first one we're going to talk about is heights. I hate heights. Yeah, this is warm. And warm is going to be Maddie Freese, diver for LU. She has no problem with heights. So good for her. I'm proud of her. She had some great stuff going on this past week. CCSA Diver of the Week, second honor in her career. Edged out Marshall's Elena Foster. And during her time at LU, she's just been a prominent diver for the Flames, and still a young lady that's developing her trait for LU, and she's going to be, I think, a stud in the next years to come. Already a stud now, and she's getting in top shape for Penn State coming to LU here shortly. So good stuff there and more.
I am not a fan of heights either. So,
Yeah.
but I had to push through that fear with some roller coasters at a younger age. So I'm getting better.
Okay, real quick. Do you know the one that just swings around like you sit in that swing up high? Oh goodness, that is like torture to me. Yeah.
All right, from warm to hot, what scares you in hot?
Not a big fan of clowns. My dad let me watch it when I was a kid.
Ruined it for you.
Oh, clowns never meant the same. And then my brother had a clown mask. He'd hide in the house.
Gosh.
It was, just getting into personal stuff there. But anyways, Malik Willis, not a clown, but he did put on a circus act in this last game. These two throws were just absolutely incredible. Like, first off, this looks like it's going to be a safety. Flames only up by 2 at this point. You think, oh no, they're in huge trouble here. Malik just the over the backer. And then, as you said, on social media, people are wondering, first off, he breaks the tackle. This guy's going to break the record of tackles broken. Then the pitch 20 yards is absolutely insane. And on that drive, the Flames go on to get the insurance marker. Incredible work by Malik, and just the strength there, Emily. Like, look at it. The backhanded pitch ahead. It looks like how you're just throwing stuff in the office sometimes. It's absolutely amazing.
All right, well, we're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Heights and clowns, not a fan of either. So let's see if we can take it home. En fuego, what are you afraid of?
Okay, I kind of get scared. You know those people that get put up against a wall and they shoot the bow and arrow and it kind of like lands beside their head and all that kind of stuff? You've seen that, right?
Okay, like on America's Got Talent or whatever?
Something like that. Yeah, Daniela Rhodes here. Daniela Rhodes in fuego this week. She's shooting it right by the goaltender's head, much like an arrow. Take a look at this highlight. This is incredible. The backhanded or reverse chip, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't this look like an arrow that's just going right by your head and scaring you? You didn't even watch, Emily.
I'm watching,
never mind.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about.
15 goals on the season for her. She's quiet. She goes about her business. And I bet you don't realize this. She's tied for Jill Bolton with the team lead.
Look at that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Field hockey doing big things.
Yeah.
All right, Rhett. Spooky season continues after the break. We have some kids and costume and a scary update. Don't go anywhere.
Teachers, your goal in the classroom is to help your students succeed. At Liberty University, it's ours too. That's why you can earn your Bachelor's of Education, Master's of Education, or Master's in Teaching without leaving home for one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation. Study conveniently and affordably so you can help your students succeed. And together, we'll inspire excellence. From our classroom to yours.
First responders, you proudly serve. You are faithful to the call to serve your community, the call to protect, the call to save lives. Just as you honor God through your calling, at Liberty University, we're called to honor you by saving you money so you can earn a degree that prepares you today for whatever calls tomorrow.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Flames Central. Let's admit it, Emily. This year's Flames Fantasy League has just been terrifying.
Yes, and it has nothing to do with Halloween. It's just scary how good Matt Warner's team is this year. But what's even worse, Rhett, is how much we're going to hear him brag about it until we're able to get some revenge next season. But anyway, you know all about our teams by now. 3 offense, 2 defense players. Here's the updated scores after the North Texas game. But here's my idea, Rhett.
Okay, let's hear it.
You, me, and Joe, we all vote and get to add Malik Willis's rushing yards each week to our totals to see if we can catch up with Matt Warner. 358 points.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hope. Well, we mentioned earlier there's going to be some kids here in the studio, and we're celebrating our 3rd annual costume party here at Flame Central. We wanted to show you some of the characters we have here today.
I love it. Red, these are all your kids?
That's what you're going to be careful. People are going to believe that.
No, this is all the Flame Central kid crew. We have a little lion, tiger, a mouse, all the animals covered, Spider-Man, a pirate.
Mr. Tumnus here. Yeah, good to have Spidey on the scene, but yeah, lots of fun having the kids come into the studio. What do you guys think? Was it fun getting dressed up for this and ready for another Flame Central costume party?
Yes!
And are you guys looking forward to candy this year?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Real quick? We've got a couple seconds. Let's hear from Tigger. What's your favorite candy?
Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls.
That is an excellent choice.
That is a staple. What a classic. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Flame Central. Be sure to download the podcast wherever you listen, and you can go to libertyflamecentral.com to watch all of our features. Until we see you next week, have a good one.